Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our last service for this month. Remember, our next service is going to be our Bon Dance area already. So it's good to see all of you. My name is Shirley. I'm sure most of you know, all of you know who I am, and I will be your MC. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or Kansho, that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. If you're able, please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 7.
Namo, 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 Namo.
Please be seated.
We are gathered here as a Sangha in the observance of the monthly memorial service for our departed loved ones who have gone on to the realm of enlightenment, the pure land of Amida Buddha, the world of eternal peace and tranquility. As we participate in this memorial service, may we experience spiritual insight into our Buddhist way of life, which those who have preceded us has contributed during their lifetime. We spiritually dedicate this date as our expression of deep appreciation for the three treasures of the Buddha's teachings. Namo Kiye Butsu, I go to the Buddha for guidance. Namo Kiye Ho, I go to the Dharma for guidance. Namo Kiye So, I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
We will now have the remembrance of those individuals who passed away in the month of June of any year. Reverend Kalu will hit the gong or daiking several times as he started. Then the names of the deceased will be announced. Please go forward just to offer incense. Then Reverend Kalu will hit the gong again for the names. After the last name is called and the incense offered, he will hit the gong several times. He will then go directly to the Sutra verses reaffirming the vow in the Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 117. Evi Arakaki and Takano Sarada. Shizue Yonamine. And the last names are Toshio Inaba, Sadaichi Ikuta, and Toshio Larry Funai. I'm sorry. Oh, one more, sorry. Edna Nishimura. Reverend Kalu will now read the verses Reaffirming the Vow in the Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 117.
Fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood, should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering. May I not attain Buddhahood, I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood, I will practice the noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly light, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe and illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo, 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 namo.
If you're able, could you please rise for the recitation, Golden Chain of Love, in the Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 126. Page 126. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself.
I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to
say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Please continue to stand for the Gatha at our altar in the Praises of the Buddha book on page 22. Page 22. Seated. Our speaker today, of course, is our minister, Reverend Kalu.
Hello. Again. Okay, let's put our hands together in Kansho. The good renounce attachment for everything. The virtuous do not prattle with a yearning for pleasure. The wise show no elation or depression when touched by happiness or sorrow. The words of Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida. Good morning, everyone. Aloha. and welcome again to this Sunday service at Windward Buddhist Temple. Thank you for your presence today, and I hope every one of you here are in reasonably good health. The preparations are underway for our Bon Dance coming soon next month, and it would be the last major activity of this temple before going on recess in August. It is regrettable that I am not able to attend the Bon Dance next month, it being a Saturday, a dialysis treatment day for me. It would have been fun, to say the least, to be able to go up to the Yagura and conduct the pre-dancing service. Not to mention, of course, participating in the dancing itself. Well, unfortunately, I can no longer join in the dancing during Ubon, unlike in my younger days. When I dance during Ubon, above the noise of the taiko drums, I can still hear my knees crack. So no more. Too old already. However, I still appreciate its rhythm and grace. Compared to any other form of dancing, there is no contest. Bon dancing is much more graceful and orderly. There is more harmony and uniformity of movement in Bon dancing, unlike the body movements of disco. Disco dancing is mostly random, wild, senseless. One can just go on the dance floor, shake his body up and down and sideways, and nobody will really notice anything odd. There's no set pattern of movements to follow. It's chaotic, in other words. With Bon dancing, on the other hand, going around the Yagura in tune with the beating of the taiko drums and in coordination with the steps of the other dancers around, reminds me of one important teaching in Buddhism, and that is the importance of going with the flow, as in the flow of life. More than just an expression of joy, Bon dancing is a form of body and mind discipline also. By trying to times one body movements with everyone else around, a state of uniformity and harmony is achieved. To go the opposite way of everyone else's can spoil the beauty of the dance and makes the person doing the opposite moves subject to ridicule. The movements are really fine-tuned in such a way to reflect the sense of order in the universe, the flow of life. What does going with the flow of life mean, and why is it important for us, not just Buddhists, but for everyone else? The great ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said that life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. It means being able to accept the things that happen in life that are beyond our control and learn to live with them the best way we could. On the Buddha's teachings of the Four Noble Truths, what is number one? Life is suffering, or some authors translate it to mean life is not balanced, or life is unsatisfactory. The Sanskrit word for suffering is dukkha. You all know that, but it does not directly translate in English to suffering. Interestingly, in our Filipino language, the word dukkha means poor, needy, or destitute. Besides suffering, dukkha in Buddhism could mean stress, anxiety, or discontentment. At first, it seems like a pessimistic teaching that life is suffering, but that is not the meaning of the First Noble Truth. The Buddha Dharma does not teach that everything is suffering. What Buddhism does say is that physical life, by its nature, is difficult, flawed, and imperfect. That's the reality of corporeal existence, as stated in the First Noble Truth. From the Buddhist point of view, this is not a judgment of life's joys and sorrows. This is a simple, down-to-earth, matter-of-fact description. No matter how hard we try to achieve those things that are pleasant and avoid those things that are unpleasant, there will always be things that we cannot control. And if we cannot accept them, they can become a huge source of anger, frustration, and stress. The solution to that is learn to go with the flow. Again, what is going with the flow? It's rolling with the punches. It's accepting change without getting angry or frustrated, sad or depressed. It's taking what life gives us rather than trying to mold life to be always exactly as we want it to be. The word ubon is a transliteration of the Sanskrit word ulambana, meaning suffering and pain while hanging upside down. This state of ulambana symbolizes our human life that does not move according to our wishes. In other words, the art of going with the flow of life is the art of acceptance. Going with the flow of life will bring serenity, peace, and tranquility. Of course, this doesn't mean that just sitting passively and having a no-caring attitude, but rather, acceptance applies to those things that are beyond our control. We need to improve ourselves and our situation by doing the best we can. But when it is something that cannot be changed by any human effort, then the best thing to do is just accept it and do our best to deal with the unpleasant situation. Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt, the former First Lady and wife of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, once said, and I quote, "You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with the best you have to give." Acceptance is not surrender. To accept something doesn't mean you endorse it. Acceptance is the seed of inspiration and the first step to clarity. Acceptance is a prerequisite to taking effective action. A lot of us, at one time or another in our lives, have experienced situations where we refuse to go with the flow. For example, some people feel angry and frustrated when the electric power gets cut off, let's say during a thunderstorm, at a time when their much-awaited ball game is about to start on television, or when a well-planned outdoor picnic suddenly gets spoiled due to the coming of unexpected rain. They swear and curse the elements of nature as if they can command it to do their biddings. These are just some of the many situations that happen daily in our lives that are not to our liking or expectation. When we do not understand or refuse to go with the flow of life, always insisting that things go our way all the time, it is not only unrealistic, but inevitably suffering follows. Therefore, it's much better to accept ourselves, others, and life as they are, rather than chasing some impossible dream of how they should be. When the waves get too rough to overcome, what do? We just ride it, go surfing. Another example, unpleasant though it is to be diagnosed with a life-changing illness. And that happened to me already. We cannot deny that it is a possibility that we all face as we journey through the road of life. At any given time, we can be struck by a debilitating or even life-threatening disease, and nobody wants that to happen to himself. But the reality is, those things do happen, sometimes unexpectedly, and it's only through the proper understanding of not going against the flow of life that we can adequately face these challenges. To complain, put the blame on someone else, or deny the existence of one's problem is not helping in any way towards the solution. By understanding and going with the flow of life, we will not let unfortunate events and occurrences become hindrances, but rather we can accept them courageously and seek the solutions using the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings. When we can accept life the way it is, then everything undergoes a change. The greatest gift that one can give to the world and oneself is the gift of acceptance. One of life's greatest lessons is learning to surrender and go with the flow. Life's difficulties and problems happen, and it is our reaction and our interpretation of the circumstances that will either free us or limit us. Developing a curiosity about how we react to situations and people in our lives can ultimately release us from the restrictions and controlling inclinations of the past. Serenity comes when we trade expectations for acceptance. When we try and force things to happen our way all the time, we will create more suffering, resistance, and struggle. We must learn to live wholly from the place of total acceptance and be willing to recognize challenges as lessons for self-growth and inquiry into the way we respond to the world. This is a concrete step on our sacred journey towards the light of wisdom and consciousness. Practice mindfulness and observe life without getting caught up in reacting to it. This will empower us and free up our energies so that we can create beautiful and meaningful lives. In closing, I'd like to borrow a prayer from the Christian tradition that gives an insight into how to go with the flow of life. The author of this short prayer is a Christian Protestant theologian named Reinhold Niebuhr, who composed it in the early 1930s and became the leading prayer of the group AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. It goes like this: Lord God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Give me the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This prayer is Christian, but the words have universal meaning that is applicable to all. The last part, the wisdom to know the difference, is especially important to us Buddhists. To have the wisdom to know the difference between what can and cannot be changed enables us to accept whatever challenges life presents to us and go with the flow of life, not against it, with peace and serenity. However, we should start the process of letting go and acceptance from a position of trust. Trust that no matter what happens, whatever adversities come in our lives, we are always embraced by Amida Buddha's boundless compassion, and we will never be abandoned even in the darkest moments and deepest pits of our suffering. Amida Buddha is always there for us. We can only do so much in life, really. Whatever we face these days, let us try accepting it fully as reality. It's happening. It is what it is. Of those things that are way beyond our ability to fix, we should just accept and do our best without unreasonable expectations. Go with the flow of life as it comes. And as we say in Hawaiian pidgin English, can, no can, no can. We can leave the rest to Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butts, Namo Amida Butts, Namo Amida Butts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Kalu. So now you know that you must accept a lot of things, and things that happen that we don't like at all, but somehow we work on it, we accept it, and just remember what Buddha tells us, and maybe that will help us, right? We'll be able to. If you're able, could you please stand for the Gatha Arigatai in the Praises of the Buddha book on page 14, and continue to stand for the Nembutsu on page 145 in the same book.
say Namo Amida Butsu, which surpasses all virtues, our heavy obstruction of evil, past, present, and future, are all unfailingly transformed, becoming light. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo No, Namo No, No.
I'll call our president, who will have some messages for you.
Good morning. Thank you, Reverend Kalu, for your interesting and at times funny message. No can. That's good. You should name your Dharma Talk that. Yeah, like me, I thought I could play football. It was too small. I thought I could play basketball. Too short. I thought I could be a good golfer. Not so good. If no can, no can. Very good. Thank you, and also thank you, Shirley, for being the MC for Neil, same family, for being our greeter. Cookie for ringing the Kansho, and Lisa for playing the piano. And thank you, Ryan, for recording this service. We have guests, repeat guests, Wes and Jen Mukoyama. They're from Palo Alto? Oh. Welcome back. They're friends of Laurie and I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't remember names. Gerald and Laurie and even Tack. If you're curious, please see Wes or Jen and greet them and ask them the question. Okay, next Sunday, July 6th, will be our Obon service with guest minister Reverend Charlene Kihara of Hawaii Betsuing. Obon is an event described as a joyful gathering to pay respect and express gratitude to ancestors and departed loved ones, and to feel the joy of living in accordance with the Buddha Dharma. This service is also for people observing Hatsubon, which is the first memorial for people who have passed away since the last Obon. For those who are observing a Hatsubon, please contact Reverend Saul for special arrangements. On that Sunday, we will also have First Sunday activities, including intergenerational activity and celebrate birthdays for the month of July. Then the busy week, we prepare for our Bon Dance. Actually, before next service, we'll be putting up the Yagura this Saturday, so we're hoping to get some strong people to help. Then next Friday, we'll be doing a lot of baking of manjus and nantu, not sure what else. Then making all the barbecue sticks. So come Saturday, we'll be decorating the Yagura and putting every finishing touches. And Saturday night, the dance starts at 7 o'clock. But if you're hungry, be there at 6 o'clock. And the rummage sale. I better go home and start over again. The rummage sale starts at 5 o'clock. And Cynthia got tons of donations this year, so tell your friends, have them come out and check it out. Next Sunday, the 13th, there will be no service, as we'll be here to clean up after the Bon Dance. A reminder, we do plan to visit Aya Hongwanji on Sunday, August 10th. There is a sign-up sheet on the table in the back there, and please indicate if you will be a driver or if you need a ride, and we'll be carpooling. The 51st Annual Buddhist Study Center Summer Session will be from Monday, the 4th of August, to Friday, August 8th, from 6 to 8 p.m. each night, with the theme, The Path Comes to Meet Me, Awakening to Namo Amida Butsu. The sessions will be held in person and via Zoom, and will be led by Reverend Dr. Enrique Galvan Alvarez. Dr. Galvan Alvarez lives in the United Kingdom and has been spreading the Buddha Dharma online to a Spanish language group, and also serves the Jodo Shinshu United Kingdom community. More information can be found on our bulletin board. I also printed a few brochures that I left on the table there, so if you'd like to get more information. August 14th will mark the 80th anniversary of the ending of World War II. An event will be held at Hawaii Betsuing to commemorate this historic date. The commemoration service at Hawaii Betsuing will be at 5 p.m. on August 14th. Featured guest speaker is Ms. Sadae Kasaoka from Hiroshima, Japan. She was 12 years old when the atomic blast occurred. She lived in Hiroshima, just 2.2 miles from the hypocenter. More information is on the flyer, on the bulletin board. Are there any other announcements? Okay, let's do words of thanksgiving and we can have our refreshments. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddhist compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you.